With the taxonomy module enabled, term reference fields are exposed and available like any other Drupal field type. So if you wish to support tagging for a particular content type, you would go and edit that content type and add a field like you would add any other, and simply assign term reference as the field type. With that field type added, you will configure the field with one specific vocabulary from those that you've enabled for your Drupal instance. In addition to assigning the vocabulary, you would assign standard settings like label, required, default value, etc. You'd also find that the number of values setting will have an impact on the widget type and behavior the way it has with other field types that we've seen. Term reference fields support 3 different widgets. You can display these fields using an autocomplete term widget for an open-ended tagging-based approach, or you can present a closed vocabulary using checkboxes or radio buttons, or a select list. And as we've seen with other field types, the number of values settings will have an impact on how exactly those particular widgets are configured. Let's jump in and enable a closed vocabulary. In our application, I'll go to my book content type, and I will manage fields for the book content type. And I'm going to add a new field, which I'll call genre, and select term reference as the field type. For the moment, I'm going to choose checkboxes or radio buttons as my widget type for this particular vocabulary. I'll save that change, and on the next screen, I'll choose genre as my vocabulary, although note there's no need for the correspondence between the names, the vocabulary, and the field. I'm just being consistent here. I'll save those settings, and I'll accept the default label, and notice I could make the field required, and it is presenting me the term vocabulary as a set of radio buttons. For the moment, I'm going to leave it set to 1 value and save these settings. Then I'll go out and take a look at my book records. I'll go to the Find Content screen, although you know by now you could access this content many different ways. And I'm going to edit this first book, Walden, and I'll see that I can choose to assign it to 1 and only 1 genre. I'll select literature, save that change, and then I'm going to open Siddhartha, and I want to assign it to, well, would that be literature or would it be philosophy? Well, I'll flag literature for now, but it looks like I don't have the field configured quite right for my actual content. So I'm going to go back to Structure, Content Types, Book, go to Manage My Fields, and I'm going to go to my genre field and edit it. I'm going to change the number of values from 1 to, well, who knows how many a given book could have as a genre. So I'll go ahead and set the number of values to unlimited. Save those settings, and then I'll go back out and edit those books, although just to be different, I'm going to go out to the main page and go to the book list we created previously, and recall that I can click in the upper right-hand corner of these teasers that I see on the book list page that we created earlier, and edit the content this way, taking me back to the same edit form for my node. But now I see that genre is presented as a series of checkboxes, and I could flag both literature and philosophy for this particular text, Siddhartha. I'll save that change, and then I'll click through to the node itself to see that now genre is being displayed at the bottom of the page as a list of values, but I notice those are linked. As we said, taxonomy exposes itself as links, which you can click through to a summary page for all nodes sharing that particular term. And because I had tagged both Siddhartha and Walden as literature, they are available on a summary page which is known by the taxonomy vocabulary name / term name. That is a valid URL throughout my site now, and it could be linked to any menu or used in any other way that's appropriate. One note, we are seeing the actual vocabulary name and term because of the use of the PathAuto module that we've been mentioning. It is pre-installed in Acquia Dev Desktop. If you're using a different distribution of Drupal that did not have PathAuto installed, then what you would see is simply an ID number instead of a term.